Ladies and gentlemen, box to box football, we are winding down on the Premier League season. It's always a little bit sad, but I think, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Mitchell and Webb look. It's kind of like a sketch series show from the two guys who do Peep Show, but they do this bit about how there's always football on all the time and it's constantly coming and it's never stopping. That really is the way it is, right? The moment the Premier League finishes, you have cup finals, you have Nations League, international football, and then before you know it, transfer window time, pre-season's here before you know it, and then the Premier League's back right before you know it anyway. So football's never really gone that far. But what this does give us a good opportunity to do, I think we know who the Premier League champions are going to be. I think we know what the top four is going to be. Relegation's still kind of interesting, but James, we can do the very prestigious box-to-box football end of season awards. It's very exciting.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Writers' Award, forget about it, right? Ballon d'Ors and all that stuff, forget about it. The one that people really want to win is obviously the approval or lack thereof of me and James. So we've got a few categories. We've got 6 in total. Obviously, in the comments, if you want to hear our opinions on anything else that you want to throw out there, do let us know as well. Drop a like while you're down there. And if you're not, hit subscribe as well. Player of the season, of course, we're going chalk with that one, right? Manager of the season as well. We're doing the flop of the season. We're doing the best signing of the season as well. The disappointing team and the most surprising team as well. So, James, do you have a category that you kind of want to kick off here?
It seems like we just have to we should go with the biggest thing, player of the year. That's what people care about. That's what people want to see. Is this really a debate?
Oh, I think I've got 2 names actually.
You know what? Before I wanted to debate it, but knowing who the champion is going to be, looking at the records that this guy has set, it's hard to argue. Numbers don't lie to a certain point. 36 goals and counting. He could hit 40. Erling Haaland, Jack. You know, I get it. Not pleasing on the eye, but Jack, he scored the most goals in a single Premier League season. And looking at every other player who was competing with him over the years, he's done it in the least amount of matches played. He's played like 32 and scored 30. He scored 36. Yes, his system's built for him. He doesn't touches the ball 5 times to 10 times in the game, but it's a skill what he's able to do to be in the right place all the time.
I'm going to accuse you of being a notification football fan right now, James. That's what I'm going to do. Because, James, a guy who scores so many goals in goals per minute and sets records, he's played the vast majority of games this year, right? He's played in 33 Premier League games, okay? Why does he have 6 Man of the Match awards? What's that about? How does that work? How does a guy who scores so many goals and sets so many records Man of the Match 6 times? Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And again, you and I both know why that is, right? Erling Haaland has made more with more. He gets a lot of opportunities to be very successful. And James, he might be one of the top 3 or 5 guys in the world to take the opportunities that are given to him. But James, the person who creates these opportunities is the person who I'm going to give the credit to. James, my player of the season is Kevin De Bruyne. Again,
Jack,
can use the same kind of arguments for Erling Haaland as you can for Kevin De Bruyne as well. But James, 9 Man of the Match awards, again, is a record in the league this year. It's 16 assists, again, with games still to play, 7 goal contributions as well. We know how vital this guy is to this team, right? Again, you say all this stuff about Erling Haaland, and yes, it's been very, very impressive. But again, if you actually watch the games, you know the guy who's the most influential here. The other guy I just want to give a little love to as well, James, is Kieran Trippier. I think I did a video on it in January talking to you about it as well. Guy's been amazing. Absolutely revolutionised this Newcastle United team from the fullback position. Captain material, recently said in a podcast how he's on less money than he was, on at Atletico Madrid at the time, and he's doing it for a kind of a change. He's been absolutely brilliant as well, and with how well Newcastle have performed, I know it's not a one-man show, but we do need to shine some light. As impressive as Erling Haaland has been, and I know you and I have a little bit of a nuanced view on this, to me it is Kevin De Bruyne. Haaland I'd probably put 3rd in that conversation.
In terms of clutch moments this year, big games, the both games against Arsenal, massive, just so many big moments. He stepped up, and it's hard obviously to disagree with Kevin De Bruyne, but the biggest thing for me with Kevin De Bruyne is that I feel like he wins this award every single year. Yes, he's great, but I feel like it comes to the point of view of, okay, you look at Manchester City's success, and he's again a lot of the time the common denominator, but he's missed a lot of games this year, Jack. And to me, that counts for me. If you're out and like your team has, how many games has he played, Jack?
He started 27. He's been a sub in 3. So he's been 30 games, and we still have a lot. We have 3-4 games to go still for this Man City team. So I don't think that's unavailability. I think, and again, James, this is the greatest Premier League midfielder ever. Let's not get it twisted. This guy's an absolute stud, and to me, deserves his flowers.
You know what? It maybe takes it back, I think, to the COVID season. I think it was 2020, 2021 season where Man City won the league virtually without Kevin De Bruyne. He was out for the majority of the time, and he still got Player of the Year over a player like Gundogan, who was fantastic and scored so many clutch goals. I just feel sometimes other players at Manchester City gets overlooked. But Jack, you said it. Frank, Scholes, Gerrard, Yaya, Keane, Vieira, all greats. This guy might be the greatest.
He takes the cake, I think. Yeah, this year in particular.
This guy might be the greatest.
Cemented
it's constant. People may think it's recency bias. No, it's not recency bias. He's joined the Premier League in 2016 or so.
Yeah,
2016. So. 2016. Jack, Man City won the league 5 times, and he's played a vital role in them winning it. And Jack, even the years that he didn't win it, I think he got 20 Premier League assists the year Liverpool won it. So every single year, this guy's doing something crazy, to put him in a position to be successful. What he's doing, he got 16 assists, and with Erling Haaland there, could get another 5 more and break the record.
Helps having that guy up top.
But guys, just let us know. Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, who is the Premier League player of the year? Comment down below.
Sneaky little Kieran Trippier in there maybe as well. James, manager of the season. I think we could probably say this in unison. I mean, maybe you want to hold back because you maybe feel some kind of way about it, but to me, it's Mikel Arteta, and it's not close.
Wow. Yes and no.
Okay.
There was 2 other names. First of all, Pep gets overlooked because he's so good, and there are people expecting because he's destroyed the whole thing. Mikel, again, bit of sour grapes knowing that we did bottle it at the end of the season. Jack, let's not lie. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah, sure.
Getting 19 points out of a possible 21 in a crunch end of the season is not good enough, and that's probably the one thing I think. But Jack, when I actually do think about it, I think he's won 4 to 5 manager of the months this season. Yes. He is. People got to look at it for what it is. Arsenal finishing second, coming this close against Manchester City. Yes, we balled in the league, but to lead the league the way we have to play the football we have, yes. Another 2 I wanted to mention is Eddie Howe and De Zerbi. Roberto De Zerbi, absolutely dope. Listen,
Thomas Frank's been nice as well. Marco Silva, I think, deserves some credit. Eric Ten Hag has also been fantastic as well. But I think, even though it's his first year, you'd, I think, still expect a little bit more from this Manchester United team as well. But James, it's Mikel Arteta for me. We can't. Again, I know you said we rule out Pep and whatever. I'm pretty sure I had Man City winning the league, and Pep has won the league. Again, I know there's no higher than you can go than number 1. But for me, if you're taking a team that might not even, in my opinion, probably wouldn't have maybe finished even in the Champions League spaces to leading the league table for the vast majority of the year, you're doing something right. So I think Mikel Arteta deserves a lot of credit. With this squad of players to come so close is very, very impressive. Interesting one now, though, for you, James. Obviously, we're going to move on to the signings portion of the video. Who's been your flop of the season? Who is the guy who's been signed, who hasn't lived up to it? Or, James, let's just extend it out. Not even a signing, but just a player who's really let you down.
I'm mainly flop, but I want you to go first, and then I'm going to say mine. Can we stick to a signing? But you go.
No. Let's do a signing. We're just doing it on the fly here. Calvin Phillips, James.
That's mine.
One thing good. Okay, I'm glad we agree. One thing that really winds me up, and Man City get away with it all the time. all the time. If this was Spurs or this were Arsenal, right, they're kind of two clubs who get a lot of social media attention, right? If they'd signed a player for the amount of money they signed a player for and they hadn't played, and he'd be getting torched for it. Man City can spend tens of millions on a player who's just had a really nice career and stuff, doesn't play at all, is injured, isn't fitting in the right system, blah, 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 blah. I think he went to the World Cup having played, what was it, like 12 minutes of football or something, 30 minutes of football or something in his entire thing. I don't want to hear it. He could be great next year and be a great Man City player for the next 5 to 10 years. He could be. This season alone, Calvin Phillips has been so underwhelming. It's embarrassing. And Man City do not get enough criticism for it.
If Calvin, Jack, you're right there in my eyes. If Calvin Phillips doesn't pick up next season, he may go down as Pep Guardiola's worst signing under Manchester City.
Right.
Yeah. Like, Jack, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm going to talk to you about the minute, Jack. He's playing 9 games in the Premier League this season. No stats. You know how many minutes he's played in them 9 games?
I'm going to guess it's under 90 would be my guess.
It's actually over 90. It's 104
fair
minutes out of 9 appearances. No stats, Jack. You know, he's coming on for 5-10 minutes here or there. This is a guy who was a part of an England midfield who made it to the Euros final. Yeah, Jack, he started for England in the World Cup. This is an England international, starting England international. A guy that he was linked with Arsenal for a little bit, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United. And he goes to Manchester City, Jack, and he's been absolutely anonymous. I'm here, and I hear a lot about players criticizing Anthony, Richarlison, all these things about even Nunes for Liverpool. All these guys have played and has contributed somehow, some way in a season. This guy has done absolutely nothing this year. I haven't heard a word from the media.
No.
I haven't had a word from anybody because he gets protected under the rug. No, Jack, the craziest thing about this year, he's going to pick up a Premier League medal.
Oh, don't even go there. Yeah, that's really
listen, that is I feel like throwing my ball on the floor. That is an absolute madness.
Yeah. Look,
madness.
I agree with absolutely everything you said. You're absolutely right. Protected because he's English, maybe. I think that might come into it, right? Jack Grealish, I don't think got a great deal of criticism from his signing last year, and he wasn't overly impressive either. So, you know, it's kind of another one where I think maybe the English bias plays into it, especially from the English media. But again, I just think a lot of the time Man City do just get away with this kind of stuff, and I don't know why. Like I say, if it was Arsenal or if it was Spurs, I'm sure they'd be absolutely torched. James, the next category, we'll move right along and get through it very, very quickly. Signing of the season is Erling Haaland, and if you have it any different, I don't even know what to say to you.
Do you know what it is? You like your Casemiro's, what Arsenal have brought on this year, what Brighton has brought in. So many, you know, so many good signings for a lot of teams, but a guy who's coming, Jack, he came in for 6. First of all, apparently he's on like 90,000, like 900,000 a week, which I don't know, but he signed for 60 million, which in today's rate is chicken change, especially for a player,
guy, how good he is, right?
You know, and what he's done, Jack, it's hard to compete. Those two players to me signing, it just seems that overall, it's him. Yeah, he's him.
Guys, and again, I'd like to think that if you're watching me and James and you continue to watch me and James, we try and keep it very, very real with you, and we're not going to get sucked into just like, you know, normal kind of narratives. There's a reason I watch football games on the most part on mute, because again, I don't want my own opinion to be conflated with someone else's. Erling Haaland, as good as he's been and as incredible as his numbers have been, he's actually capable of so much more. Right, it's the style of play in a way that kind of hinders what you can truly see from him. The value's been great. If they can get him signed up to a new contract, which removes the release clause, the Real Madrid release clause, right, that was rumoured, then that's an absolute win for them. But the guy's been unbelievable. It's probably the best signing in the history of the Premier League, and I don't think I'm crazy saying that, especially within its first season. I mean, guy's been unbelievable. Yeah. We can move on. That was quite an easy one. Guy's been unbelievable. James, who's your most disappointing team? I think we're probably going to agree here, but let's see how we do.
Disappointing team. Oh, I think the first things first.
Surely it's Chelsea.
Chelsea. Oh yeah. Oh damn. I
Did you
actually
not
completely
think of
missed
them
them.
because of how
You know
far
what?
down the table they are?
They were so low down the table. I was gonna the one that's gonna come into my mind, Jack, and looks like they're about to be relegated is Leicester.
Right.
Because they think, Jack, of the players that they like to have, the love that people give Brendan Rodgers and just James Maddison, Tielemans, all these sort of guys. They won the Premier League like 6-7 years ago. Recent FA Cup winners, challenging for the Champions League. For them to be second bottom of the table, 19th, Jack, is appalling.
Yeah, it is.
It's been ridiculous. But yeah, when you actually think about it, they're so far down there, they're out of mind, out of sight. Chelsea.
Dude, and again, I don't want to just bag on them horribly. And again, it's a shame for Leicester, but I think a lot of the blame goes for the front office guys for Leicester City. You sell Tielemans when you have the chance to. You give James Maddison a huge contract, and you have him earn it and be the spearhead of your team, or you sell him. You sign somebody like a Patson Daka. You let him just take over from Jamie Vardy straight away. You don't kind of cling on to Jamie Vardy as he slowly goes into, not even the back nine, the back two holes of his career, if we're using that golf saying, right? Like, it's just been horribly managed. I think we've got Soyuncu, who is an incredibly well-respected centre-back. He's going to be off to Atletico Madrid, I believe, on a free transfer. This whole team is going to be decimated. Timothy Castagna will move on. Ricardo Pereira will move on. These are all guys it is unacceptable for them to be playing in the Championship. And it's not to diss the Championship. These are really good players who can play for top half Premier League teams and elite European teams. So, poor from Leicester. But James, we can't go any further than Chelsea. It's been embarrassing. It's been embarrassing. Erling Haaland has more goals than Chelsea, I think, or Chelsea now have one more goal than Erling Haaland. I mean, what the hell is that?
Jack, the fact that they've had 3 managers this season, just what's going on with the board, January, and how much they spent. When you think about it, I shame on me for not really realizing about Chelsea. So yeah, by far,
and again,
let down this season.
Stay tuned, guys, as well. James and I will be reacting to the Maurizio Pochettino news in a video shortly, so do keep an eye out for that one. It may be in a related tab somewhere over here, or if you go on our channel, and you'll be able to find it as well. But yeah, kind of clear cut that one. Surprising team, James. I'm gonna kind of go first here, if you don't mind. I think it's got to go down as Brighton. Again, we've talked about De Zerbi and we've done all this kind of stuff. Brighton have always been the best of a bad bunch, I think, is the fair way to say it, right? You have the top 6, right, who are usually there or thereabouts, maybe a top 7, but realistically it's kind of a top 6. But that kind of tier of the guys who are on the outside looking in, they're usually like, in and around those spots, and they play nice football and you like them. They lose a couple of players though, right? I'm going to miss on it. Yves Bissouma leaves, right? Mark Cucurella leaves, right? Graham Potter leaves, and you wonder, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen with these guys? The new manager, De Zerbi. James, they've been great. They've been really, really kind of special. Mitoma has been a fantastic signing as well. Ferguson has just signed a new deal as well. I think Solly March has been unbelievable. Pascal Gross is having a bit of a resurgence. I'm not surprised, as in I'm shocked at how good the football is. I'm surprised at kind of the level at which it's been able to be maintained, even though there's been a lot of turnover to the management and the starting 11. Who's your most surprising team?
Apologies for always looking over my shoulder. Liverpool are also playing, so I'm also, just checking my shoulder at the same time. But again, Arsenal's the one that I wanted to mention too, finishing second, leading the league for so long. But Bournemouth is Brighton is a good one, but I just said it right there. It slipped out of my mouth. Bournemouth, Jack. They were tipped to finish bottom of the table, Jack. Right. They were tipped to get out of there. Deep wild with Scott Parker at the start of the season. He almost doomed the whole thing. We're not staying up. What's the point of me being here? Give me some money. He left. Gary O'Neill comes in, and I'm thinking, what's gonna happen with this team? Surely they're gonna go down. And what they've been able to do, Jack, the results that they've been able to have, and to stay up, Jack, in this manner when Jack, I don't think I've seen anybody, even us, say that they're going to stay up. The fact that they're going to stay up, Jack, and not just stay up, they're going to stay up comfortably.
Right. Chelsea are more nervous than they are.
Trust me. I think it got to be them. Players like Dominic Solanke, Lima, what they've been able to do, Jack, Neto, incredible. absolutely incredible for them staying up in the Premier League after being doomed. And even Jack, let's be truthfully honest here. How many Premier League football players do you look at in that team?
Right.
You know,
And that's
usually
kind of the biggest point, isn't it? Like Matthias Viña from Roma, obviously he's a terrific player, blah blah blah. But no, like you're right, you're absolutely right. And again, I think you've got to give the management a lot of credit there, and the team spirit there as well. Couple of, I think, honourable mentions within that one. Again, we've probably got to say Arsenal as well. They have been kind of a nice surprise. Again, I know it's particularly hard for you, and it's hard for me. I wanted Arsenal to win the league this year too. But that was a shame. Newcastle, again, I think we know the direction it's going. How quick they're getting there is kind of surprising and kind of interesting. Again, the likes of Fulham, I think Fulham have been very impressive. Brentford again have been very, very impressive. But yeah, I think Brighton for me is got to be the one, and Bournemouth is a great shout, especially from where they were. Guys at home, agree with me, agree with James, disagree with both of us, and have another idea of your own. Write any of the points that we've
please
made.
comment.
Yeah, give us a comment. Let us know if you've liked the video. Do hit like. Any categories that we've missed, because James and I had a quick chat about it, and we think this covers most of them. But any other categories we've missed, let us know as well. While you're down there, please check you are subscribed as well. We're on the road to 1,000, about 150 subs to get us there. So we'd really appreciate your help. James, anything else from you, mate?
Subscribe, guys. So very, very important here. But comment, let us know what you think, and me and Jack will see you next time.